Okay, let's dive into this. If you've ever hosted a massive backyard barbecue, you know the absolute chaos that can erupt when you're just trying to feed a hungry crowd, right? You're flipping burgers, you're constantly checking temperatures, guests are arriving, and suddenly, nothing is ready at the same time. Well, today, we are going to fix that. This explainer is going to give you a completely stress-free, totally chronological master plan for hosting a large group barbecue. We're going to look at everything through the lens of strategic timing and some pretty brilliant flavor pairing. Basically, we're taking you from a frantic cook to a relaxed, professional-level host. So here's our chronological roadmap for the explainer today. First, we'll hit prep, safety, and stations. Then, slow-cooked meats. Third, we're grilling burgers and ribs. Fourth, fast-fire proteins. And finally, balancing flavors with sauces. Let's get right into it. Section 1. Prep, safety, and stations. Now, before a single guest even pulls into your driveway or before a single coal is lit, you absolutely have to get your preparation timeline mapped out. The biggest mistake hosts make, trying to do everything at once. And this brilliantly illustrates the secret to managing large groups. You've got to anchor your heavy lifting to the night before and the early morning. Just look at this timeline. Your brisket, that gets rubbed down with celery and garlic salt to just hang out in the fridge overnight. Your crock-pot beef is going to need 8 to 10 hours. Those ribs need a 6 to 8 hour bath in their marinade. Even your North Carolina barbecue basting sauce needs a good 1 to 2 hours to rest so the cider vinegar and paprika can really meld together. By front-loading these tasks, you completely free up your active cooking time later in the day. It's a total game changer for preparing multiple items simultaneously. But, with multiple proteins comes the absolute necessity of strict hygiene. When you're managing 1.5 pounds of raw ground pork, raw ground beef, and fresh head-on shrimp all at the same time, you have to treat food safety as the ultimate mark of a pro host. Wash your hands constantly, sanitize those surfaces to prevent cross-contamination, and really rely on strict visual cues. For example, making absolutely sure your patty melts are not pink in the center. Keeping your guests safe is just as important. Actually, it's more important than keeping them fed. Section 2. Slow-cooked meats and marinades. Okay, so our prep and safety protocols are locked in. Let's look at the slow-cooked proteins. These dishes are the reliable, heavy-hitting base of your gathering. They literally do the hard work for you while you're busy at the grill. Let's compare the prep methods of our two hardiest options. On one side, we have the old-time barbecue beef. This relies on an overnight fridge rest, tightly covered with liquid smoke, celery salt, and garlic salt to build a really deep, savory flavor. But on the other side, we have this incredibly unique peanut butter ribs recipe. These pork ribs take a 6 to 8 hour bath in a rich blend of peanut butter, honey, soy sauce, and minced ginger. But notice the addition of fresh lemon juice. That citrus starts brightening up those incredibly rich, nutty ribs before they even touch the grill. 8 to 10. That's the number of hours your old-time beef brisket needs to simmer in the crock pot. You're just combining water, tomato paste, barbecue sauce, brown sugar, and salt, dropping the beef in, covering it, and setting it over medium heat. So why is this so brilliant for a large group? Because it acts as a completely hands-off station. For 8 to 10 hours, this massive crowd pleaser basically cooks itself. You don't even have to think about it while you're managing the crazy, active grilling stations. Section 3. Grilling burgers and ribs. With the slow-cooked meats just bubbling away doing their thing, it's time to focus on the main event, the grilling station, where the pork burgers and those peanut butter ribs take center stage. Let's break down this incredibly efficient assembly line for mushroom-stuffed pork burgers. First, you sauté fresh mushrooms, green onions, and garlic in some butter. Next, mix your lean ground pork with Dijon mustard, Worcestershire, salt, and pepper, and form it into 12 thin, equal-sized patties. Then, scoop that savory mushroom mix onto 6 of those patties, making sure to leave a half-inch border. Finally, you just cap them with the remaining 6 patties and seal the edges tightly. By breaking down the assembly into these really clear mechanical steps, you can mass-produce these crowd pleasers in mere minutes. Now, once they're assembled, here is your exact grilling technique. Place the stuffed pork burgers about 6 inches above moderately high coals. You're going to cook them for 10 to 15 minutes, and here's the key. Turn them only once. This specific time frame is crucial. While those burgers are sizzling away, it gives you that perfect window to step away, check on your crock-pot beef, or prep your next station without risking a burnt main course. That is the very definition of efficient grilling, when you've got hungry guests waiting. Section 4. Fast-fire proteins. All right, so these are the quick cooking items that you fire up right as your guests are holding their empty plates. The New Orleans barbecue shrimp is a fantastic, lightning-fast seafood station. You take 14 large, fresh shrimp, and definitely keep the heads on for maximum flavor here, and arrange them in a single layer with a heavy spice blend of cayenne, thyme, paprika, and Worcestershire. You pop them in a 450-degree oven for literally just 2 minutes. Take them out, sauté over medium heat, and swirl in cold butter and fresh lemon juice. Serve them right in bowls with some fresh bread to soak up that unbelievable sauce. Boom! You've just given your guests an elegant, extra protein option in under 5 minutes. Now, if you're also throwing down patty melts on rye bread alongside this, you have to be super mindful of your timing and safety. So the crucial point is this direct quote from the recipe. Cook at medium heat till the inside of the patty is not pink. For a ground beef patty mixed with breadcrumbs and egg, you're looking at approximately 5 minutes on every side. Following this precise visual safety cue ensures your ground beef is perfectly safe for the masses, all while keeping your cooking line moving fast. Section 5, balancing flavors with sauces. Okay, so all the food is coming off the grill and out of the crock pot. Now we reach the final masterful step of our master plan, pairing and balancing those heavy barbecue profiles with the right sauces. I really want you to think about this for a second. When you have a massive spread of beef brisket, cheese-covered patty melts, and pork ribs marinated in peanut butter and honey, palate fatigue sets in fast. It's just so heavy. So, how do you balance out that rich, nutty barbecue flavor so your guests actually want to keep coming back for more? The secret is sensory contrast. You literally have to pit the rich and nutty against the sharp and acidic. Think about it. The richness of peanut butter, honey, and natural pork fat really coats the mouth. To cleanse that palate, you need sharpness. We're talking apple cider vinegar, fresh lemon juice, and hot pepper. A tangy vinegar base acts like a culinary knife. It slices right through the heavy richness of that peanut marinade and keeps the palate completely refreshed. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how it brings the whole event together into one master pairing chart. For the mushroom pork burgers, we pair them with my barbecue sauce, which is an apple cider base served on standard buns. Those heavy peanut butter ribs get matched with the sharp, vinegar-heavy North Carolina barbecue sauce to cut the fat. And honestly, no heavy carbs are needed there. The old-time beef brisket naturally pairs with its own sweet tomato and brown sugar crock-pot mix, served with buns and chips. The patty melts, they rely on their own cheddar cheese and butter on rye bread, and the BBQ shrimp uses its built-in lemon and butter pan sauce with fresh bread for dipping. It's like a giant puzzle fitting perfectly together. Let's look a little closer at those pork burgers. The ground pork and earthy mushrooms provide an incredibly deep, savory umami flavor. But by pairing it with my barbecue sauce, which blends a half cup of fruit juices, a third of a cup of apple cider vinegar, ketchup, and hot pepper, you provide the exact acidic depth needed to balance out that earthiness. This is exactly why this stuff matters, guys. Pairing the right acidic sauce with the right rich meat is the secret step that transforms just another good backyard cookout into a highly organized, professional-level feast. So there you have it. You've successfully front-loaded your prep to the night before. You've established a bulletproof slow cooker hands-off station. You've nailed the 15-minute grilling window for your stuffed pork burgers, and you know exactly how to fire off 2-minute shrimp right at the end to wow the crowd. Best of all, you know how to use sharp, vinegar-based sauces to perfectly cut through the richness of your meats. With your timeline set and your flavors perfectly balanced, what will be the signature station at your next large gathering? Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and happy grilling.